really excited to be here to welcome you to I Got My Miracle with Shay and Chris. And so listen, if you're feeling broken, if you're feeling lost, and want to find a sense of inner peace, feel like you're found and whole and complete, then this is the interview for you, because that's what we were just talking about. So I'm John Jacob Mubarak, and I'm really grateful to bring you this week's edition of I Got My Miracle at Rythmia, where every week we choose one or two people that represent the field of miracles that occurred this week. And every week miracles are happening. Every week people are connecting with themselves, coming back to a state of wholeness, forgiving the unforgivable, and healing their hearts. Life is different after a week at Rythmia. And so we're going to talk to Chris and Shay. Hi.
Hi.
How you guys doing?
Wonderful.
Awesome. I'm so glad. Thank you for saying yes to this. I really appreciate it. It's a little like, hey guys, you want to come do this interview and share how vulnerable you were this week? So let's just get it all out.
Why
not? Okay, so tell me, kind of, Shay, before you came, what brought you to Rythmia?
I felt kind of just like a calling. I'd found it for Chris, and I was curious. I don't even think I realized how much I needed it until I was here, and the potential for healing. So
you were looking for something for Chris.
Yeah, I was looking for Chris.
You need some help.
I was going to send him by himself. But I'm like, okay, I'll
You need
go.
to fix yourself. I'm going to send you to this place. And then you got curious. And we're like, maybe there's something for me here.
Yeah, and he wanted me to come. So I came.
Amazing. Amazing. And okay, so I'm going to jump over to you, Chris. So Shay kind of came to you and was like, dude, you need this shit. Yeah. What happened?
Well,
how did it happen?
Well, I was looking to find a way, a path in life. And I had friends that had tried ayahuasca, and they were always like, hey, man, you gotta try it. And I told Shay that I would like to give it a try, and then she found me online. And then she booked the trip. I was like, do it within 3 months. We have June. Let's go. And here we are.
So
and I don't regret any minute of it.
I'm so grateful to hear that.
Unreal. I'm grateful too.
So tell me, so you were saying you felt broken and lost before.
Yeah.
And what did you see this week that had you move beyond broken and lost to this state of what you said was you feel right now?
Oh, I just feel an inner peace in my heart. I just feel, it's unreal. I feel so much lighter. I just feel at peace. I don't feel much stress at all. Once I get back to the real world, I'm sure it'll, I don't know, but
well, that's part of integration.
I can focus on,
that's part of integration,
for
right?
Sure.
And we have a great integration program to help you.
Yeah, I can't wait
when you guys get back home.
Yeah.
So this shift in 1 week from lost, broken to inner peace and confidence and calm. What, and did I ask you what you're feeling this week? At the end of the week?
Oh, complete. Yeah. I feel like I see the world in a way I've never seen it before.
Wow. Amazing.
I have to agree with that.
Yeah.
So tell me about that experience for you. Let's start with you. What was for you a couple highlights this week that had you see and shift from feeling broken and lost to whole and complete and a new perspective on the world?
I think the biggest shift was Tuesday night. So Tuesday night was my miracle night, and I went in with zero expectations after Monday night. And I was lying there, and I had this face-to-face with God. God for me could be something for someone else. And I'd been holding on to a loss for the last 26 months, the loss of my dog, Isabel. And I just had this realization in God speaking to me that I was living my life from a place of loss. And because part of me thought, maybe I try this and I can see Isabel and, we can be reunited. And he was just talking to me and saying, I didn't send you her for a lesson in loss. It was a lesson in love. And then I realized I can never have her back, and that can't be the focal point of the loss of it. Trying to get back to what I had, because the love is always there. The love will never leave, and I never lost that. And it was just the most healing moment in my life.
So I know.
for like the last 26 months is like my health had deteriorated. I felt like I was falling apart. I developed POTS. I was like passing out all the time. Like it was just like one problem after another. And like I knew it started right after she passed. And it was like my heart literally broke in that moment.
Mm.
And it healed me in a way. I don't know. I didn't even think it was possible.
Wow.
But it was the best moment of my life.
What a beautiful, just a shift in perception, right? Like from loss to love.
Yeah, because it's the same. The circumstances haven't changed. Just the way that I could see it shifted so dramatically.
And did that correlate to something that happened in your childhood?
Yeah, there was a lot of loss. I definitely had lots of abandonment, and more things came out like this week just when I was talking to someone. I'm like, all right, my parents left me at 6 months old to go to Disneyland, and like I don't even think I was off breast milk, and it was like that was my okay, you're 5 grams, kind of moment. And so these things keep coming up, but it was getting through the loss and the attachment to loss, because notice the common thread, the loss of friends, the loss of people that have passed, and it's like always holding on to that end feeling versus everything that you had before that loss. So
like celebrating the joy that we had, rather than holding on to who am I going to be without this? Exactly. What I also love about what you shared is you were experiencing this loss of Isabel, and it was like the last 26 months, and that was really up for you. But life is the curriculum. So like this feeling is coming up again, but it's reflected in earlier experiences, even though it's like, oh, this is the thing over the last 2 months or 2 years or so, right? But that was recreated in your awareness because of this consciousness of loss that you had from childhood, and loss of friends, loss of family, loss of the people who passed away, people who just went away. And so Isabel gave you another gift, right? Which is a remembrance of the joy that we had together. Yes. Oh, that's beautiful.
It was beautiful.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Chris, you were the sort of the motivation, right, of coming, and you guys came together. Tell me a little bit about, so you're having this feeling now, of inner peace, like grounded and rooted. Yeah. What shifted for you? What did you see this week? Did you see anything from childhood?
I did. Yeah. I seen some doors open, like just some memories that I had buried, like I'd forgotten, like things that scared me when I was young, stuff like this, things that made me turn out the way made me who I became. I got to see that, and then that's what really helped me get to know myself and figure out who I had become. That's not really who I am. Right. And I never really looked at things that way before.
Can you share like one of the things that scared you as a kid?
I can, and that's back to that Stephen King who wrote the book It.
Yeah.
I was very young. I grew up in the middle of nowhere. We had no TV or anything like that. So I read a lot of books, and that's one book I shouldn't have picked up at 7 years old. And I got to the part where I can't remember the name of the clown, but he was like, all these kids were disappearing and stuff like this. And, I was very young, and I got to this part where he had taken Billy, or one of these children, underneath this bridge, and the kids were looking for him. And then they look over, and he turns around and he bites him in the throat. And I got so scared, I closed that book and I didn't open it for 5 years. And then literally. And then so I read it like once I was like 12 years old and stuff. And then anyhow, when I was during the ceremony, I started having visions, all these clowns and stuff, and I was like, what's going on? And then it all came to me, and I was like, holy, like I forgot all about that. Wow. And that's when things started opening up for me.
I love your story because so often we think like, well, I didn't have like trauma as a kid, right? Like my parents were cool, like I mean everybody has their whatever problems, but I wasn't like beat or but it doesn't matter. No. Right? It doesn't matter if mom didn't pick me up on time, or if I was abused or neglected, because trauma isn't what happened. It's the story that we tell ourselves
Right.
about what happened. Trauma isn't what happened, it's how it happens in us.
Mhm.
And so the experience of being 7 and reading that book, like,
Yeah.
was formative for you.
Oh, yeah.
And created, what did it create in you? What did you see? Who did it have you become? What were the ways that you dealt with not wanting to deal with that fear?
That's a good question. Well, like I say, I literally, it gave me nightmares, right? Like, I closed that book. I didn't open it for like 5 years. And yeah, I think it made me shell up quite a bit. It really did. Like, I honestly haven't felt comfortable in my skin until like this week, to be quite honest with you. Like, I never have. I've always been like trying to impress other people, people pleasing, shit like that. You know, this is the first time where I probably wouldn't even sit here and do an interview like this. I wouldn't have the courage.
Wow.
And now I don't feel like it's nothing to me. As I want to share my story. I want people need to find this place out. Need to discover it.
Yeah. You know, I love it because it's like, what you're sharing is like, I became afraid.
Yeah.
So the way I covered that up was to like close off and then present this people pleasing perfectionist kind of out picturing to the world, because that's how I'm going to be safe.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And it's the thing is, it's the same for everybody, right? It's like the same structure, but yours was a Stephen King novel. Yours was the loss of, you know, feeling excluded from your family or losing a friend, and somebody else had, you know, it's like, here are all these circumstances and conditions. It's like a giant spiritual Plinko machine, right? You like drop it in, it's like ding 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 ding, I'm not safe. Ding 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 ding, I'm abandoned. Ding ding, you know, it's like these core woundings of, I'm not safe, I don't belong, I'm not lovable, I'm not worthy. Always like boils down to that. But how we get there is so unique. Everybody, this is why it's never boring to me. Like 8 years of doing this, and it's always fresh because it's always something new for somebody else's unique experience. But there's a structure to it as well. I had a feeling, I had an experience. That experience created a feeling. I'm afraid, I'm not enough, I'm not worthy, I'm weird, I'm bad, I don't belong. Everybody gets it but me. I might as well give up. Whatever the story is, it created this feeling, and then we create these coping mechanisms so that we don't feel that, right? People pleasing, perfectionism, addiction, hyper success, avoidance, any number of things that we do. That's the structure. And the way we change that is to have a new experience that creates a new feeling that then becomes the new law, the new who we've become. So I want to just acknowledge you both for having a new experience, right? A new experience that created a new feeling, whole, complete, peace, inner peace and calm, right? And then now this becomes the new who you've become. Now you've become the person who moves through life centered and at peace and beautiful.
Before coming here, you know, you ever have that awkward silence in an elevator when everybody gets on and stops at every floor and it's packed and everybody grabs their phones and nobody's looking at anybody? That's how I always felt. And it, you know, I always felt kind of awkward and not very good at starting conversations and doing all that. Now I just,
it's okay to be
the first
you.
one to tell. Yeah, exactly. I don't really. I'm comfortable. I feel. I know I have a lot of work to do, but
it's always.
You guys have really helped me out big time, both of us.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we will be coming back, and we will be bringing friends with us.
Amazing. Now, it's, you know, tell me about your experience here in terms of the ceremonies, the classes, what were the favorite parts for you, Shay?
The ceremonies, I think, were my favorite, but then also having the workshops and classes to integrate it throughout the day. So even one of the things that you had wrote on the board about the should, that came up, I think it was my last night, and it was like my ego, which I felt like was gone, of course, right? Like, I don't have an ego. And then it came in, and then I was thinking of these shoulds. And yeah, it just kind of helped, because if I wouldn't have seen that or worked through that in class, then I don't think I would have been able to process it the next day with kind of tools to actually work through it. So
amazing.
Yeah, that was helpful.
I'm so grateful to hear that.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I love the way that, you know, spirit, we're all one. And so sometimes I don't even know like what it is that like someone else said that to me today. Oh, something you said yesterday, and I was like, what did I say yesterday?
Yeah.
You know, and they're like this thing, and I was like, oh my God, that was like a throwaway. But it was like spirit's just working. Like we're just, you know, what is this going on here? Let me get rid of that. So cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What about you? What was the favorite parts? Was it
Dinner time.
Dinner time.
The food's incredible, guys. Yeah, no,
The food is good, right?
it is good.
It is, yes.
No,
Was it the people? Was it the
the people,
Oh, we had an amazing
that's-
group too.
right?
I
Felt
couldn't
special.
I couldn't put my finger on just one thing. Like, there's so many things that I love. But the
Okay,
people,
give me 3.
give you 3. Well, your seminars for one.
Thank you.
Yeah, no.
That was the right answer.
Yeah, no, yeah. We'll talk. Yeah, no, it was. Like, whenever somebody shared a story and you were obviously trying to help them find their path, it always triggered something. I could relate with everybody's story, and it opened up doors for me. It really did. And yeah, the breath work,
Mm-hmm.
cold plunge. I'm kind of
Cold
addicted to that now. Yeah. There's this program it's awesome. Everything is everything.
I love what you said because that's one of my favorite parts is the group
Yeah.
classes.
Yeah. Well,
Where and it's always like someone feels like I don't want to take up time.
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Everyone's like, I don't
Yeah,
I don't feel bad taking
Yeah.
up this, but I'm always like, you don't
Yeah.
realize
Yeah.
you doing this. It's for
Helping
everybody.
us all.
Yes.
Amazingly,
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
How long have you guys been together?
16 years.
16
something
years.
Yeah,
like that.
16 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not as old as I look.
Yeah.
I'm older.
Yeah.
You both look great. You
Thank
both
you.
look great. Did you do before and after pictures? Did you take a picture before you came?
Well, we had some from Tamarindo, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I didn't purposely do that.
No.
Did you take a look and see if there was a difference?
There's a lot of light in our photos from yesterday.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It is,
It's amazing.
It is.
The before and after
Mhm.
pictures. So you guys have been together for 16 years. You live in British Columbia, is that right?
Yeah.
And what do you do?
I worked with Chris, so we
Oh.
work at the fishing lodge. Yeah.
Okay. And is this and you're doing tours with people? What do you do?
Chris does fishing charters, whale watching, grizzly bears, all the tours, and then I just help our guests. Check-ins, checkouts, guest relations, emails. Yeah.
Amazing.
Organizing.
And so, and is it a year-round thing, or when
It
are you
starts-
closed?
It starts May long weekend, and we usually go to about September long, till around the 10th, something like
So,
that.
what do you guys do from September to May?
Travel a little bit.
Yeah.
Freaking great!
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's life, right?
It is.
Like
Yeah.
you guys work 4 months a year, and
Well, yeah. Well, I start a bit early. There's a lot of maintenance
Yeah,
and stuff
lots
like
of-
that too. But it's
yeah, I mean, you got to make it sound like you're doing some work.
Yeah, that's pretty tough.
Okay, so you work 6 months.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I think. Tell me, is there anything else that you want to share or say?
Anything you want to add?
You go first. I'm still thinking.
I was
I
just
don't
gonna
know.
say, if you're called to this, come.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shay.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was so nice. Thank you,
Yeah.
Chris.
You're welcome.
Appreciate
Thank
you both saying yes to
Appreciate you.
this.
Of
Yeah.
course.
And I'm so glad I got to meet you this week.
Same.
Thank you. Same
Thank
here.
you. All right.
So much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Come here.
Thank
Yeah, there you go. I never hugged so many people. In my
I know,
life.
right?
Tell them I love them.
We're gonna
It's been
hug.
like that all week.
We're gonna
That's
hug when we
unreal.
get off the couch.
Yeah, exactly.
But let me just say thank you all so much for joining us, and have a great west of your week.
West of your week.
Let's do a week.
And we'll see you soon. Okay.
Yeah.
Blessings. Blessings.